This is the new Honda Civic, and its importance cannot be understated. A perennial bestseller, Honda Civics are everywhere, which means that its safety performance has widespread repercussions. Whether it becomes your own personal vehicle, or you ride in one that belongs to a friend or an Uber driver, the Civic is ubiquitous in the car landscape. Is this Honda up to this enormous task? Let's explore how it performs in multiple demanding crash tests. First up is the small overlap crash test. This is a very challenging evaluation because only 25% of the vehicle's width strikes the barrier, which concentrates the force in a small area. The structure performed well, and injury measures were low. On the passenger side small overlap test, the dummy's head nearly rolled off the airbag, which increases the risk for head injuries. Let's now see how rear seat passengers are protected in a frontal collision. To assess this, we have to look at the updated moderate overlap crash test, which contains a dummy in the rear. Unfortunately, as we have seen in numerous other vehicles, the lap portion of the seatbelt shifted from the pelvis, where it should remain throughout the crash, to the abdomen. This increases the risk for uncontrolled movement and abdominal injuries. Fortunately, sensors from the rear dummy signal a low risk of injury to the head, neck, and chest. Next up is the updated side impact test. This evaluation simulates what would happen if this Honda was struck by a 4,200-pound SUV at 37 miles per hour. This evaluation is extremely challenging for light, low-riding sedans like the Civic. The Civic scored an acceptable rating. There was a moderate amount of structural intrusion. The space between the seat center line and B-pillar comes in at an acceptable 17.5 centimeters. What was more concerning was that the driver dummy signaled a high risk for a pelvis injury. Having a strong roof is critical during a crash where the vehicle rolls over. The Civic withstood nearly 22,000 pounds of peak force. This is enough to earn the highest rating of good and should ensure the roof won't collapse in a rollover. Let's examine the technologies that can help avoid collisions. The automatic emergency braking system, which employs radar and other sensors, autonomously applies the brakes when a collision is about to occur. The Honda system underwent testing at speeds of 12 and 25 miles per hour, and in both instances, the vehicle completely avoided a collision. Let's now evaluate the performance of the headlights, as they play a crucial role in reducing the extra hazards that driving at night can pose. Only one type of headlights is available on the Civic, and it performs well. The low beams performed well in all scenarios. The high beams had sufficient visibility on the right side of straightaway, but fell short on the left side. The high beams were sufficient in all the corner tests. Now it's time to look at our recommendation about the Honda Civic, which is not as straightforward as usual. Overall, the Civic has mixed results. It performed well in the small overlap test, has strong roof protection, and great collision avoidance technology. However, there is room for improvement in side impact collisions and rear seat protection in frontal collisions. Relative to other small cars, it is one of the safest options available. So if you are absolutely set on staying in the small car market, the Civic is a smart choice. However, if safety is a priority and it fits within your budget, upgrading to a mid-size sedan, such as Honda's own Accord, can offer greater protection for you and your family. For example, a lot of the problems that the Civic had in the side impact test are alleviated or reduced in the Accord, which earns a near-perfect score in the same side evaluation. If you found this interesting, please subscribe to see more captivating videos about auto safety.